I gained over 36 kilograms over the last 2 years. And in this video, I'm going to share one thing that really helped me to build the physique that I built now in just 2 years. It's basically just reacting to feedback and actually noticing what are the inputs I should focus on. So in the past, I hit plateaus. I went through periods of time where I wasn't progressing anymore. But instead of asking myself, okay, what should I change? What should I do to get out of this plateau? I thought, okay, I'm gonna get out of this with just sheer effort. I'm just gonna keep banging my head against the wall, not change anything, and just keep working on consistently. But that was actually a big mistake, even though it sounds so cool and heroic to do that. It wasn't a good idea. I went through phases where I wasn't progressing, and if I just sat down and asked myself the question, what should I change to start progressing again? I would have found a way a lot easier. I would have found a way a lot quicker than I actually did. And the first step to kind of realizing, to kind of reacting to feedback, is just firstly realizing what is the right output that I should kind of use as an indicator. And for me, what I've realized now, what I do now, I use strength as an indicator. So when I start noticing that my strength is going down or I'm not progressing anymore, that means something's wrong. I need to make a simple change. Of course, strength shouldn't be the main focus if you focus on bodybuilding. For me, it's like my focus is bodybuilding, but still, strength is an important part of it. If my strength isn't going up at all and I'm not progressing in the lifts that I do, then I kind of ask myself, okay, what do I need to change? What am I doing wrong? What can I kind of improve? What do I need to focus on to actually start progressing again? Let me just take an example for an example. A few like the longest plateau that I hit a few years ago, like I think 1 year ago, I had like a massive plateau. I spent months and months and months where I wasn't progressing. I wasn't making any gains. The simple reason why is because I wasn't even intentionally trying to progress. I hit kind of didn't think that progressive overload was important for bodybuilding. I kind of knew, okay, yeah, bodybuilding, I want to build muscle, and I thought I had this mindset that to build muscle, I just had to focus on stimulating the muscle, just stimulating the muscle, working out, and just feel like the mind muscle connection, and that was enough to build muscle, but it wasn't. So the constraint there was that I wasn't even trying to progress, and I probably wasn't even training hard enough. So after a few months and months and months and months of hitting that plateau, I've kind of realized, okay, I need to make a change. I need to do something differently. And I started actually understanding how progressive overload works. I started implementing it more into my routine. That's how I started making progress again. So it's important to, if your lifts aren't going up, if you aren't getting any stronger, you're not adding reps to your lifts, you're not adding any weights to your lifts, that means you're probably doing something wrong and you need to make a change. There's probably something you could do better if you aren't progressing at all. Even me right now, I'm progressing every single week. I'm adding reps. And when I start noticing, okay, something's wrong. For example, yesterday, I'm taking an example. Yesterday, I had a back and bicep workout, back bicep and forearm workout. I came in, warmed up. My first exercise was like weighted pull-ups. Come in, I'll start warming up. I do 3 sets to warm up. And then I do my working set. I quickly look at my phone to see what I did last week, because it's really important. Tracking your workouts is also really important to actually see what you did last week so that you can aim to do something better this week. So I look at my phone, I see, okay, last week I did weighted pull-ups with an extra 10 kilograms for 5 reps on the first set. So that's what I try to do. And I end up doing 5 reps. But firstly, I didn't progress. I didn't do 6. My aim was to do 6 reps, but I only did 5 reps. And secondly, the 5th rep was actually harder yesterday than it was a week before. So I actually got weaker. So instead of just focusing it and doing another 3 sets of weighted pull-ups, I actually did one more set, I think. Yeah, I actually did one more set. Don't know why I did one more set, but I actually shouldn't have. So I did 2 sets instead of 4, and I just stopped. Yeah, I didn't do any more back exercises after that, because I knew, okay, my back is weaker. It's pretty much useless to come in and do a workout where I'm actually weaker than I am last week. That means it's probably just a waste of time. So I just said, okay, let's not hit my back more. I just stopped. I just didn't hit back anymore. And then afterwards, I went to another exercise for biceps. I tried to do, I think, the Bayesian curl, cable Bayesian curl. I did that. And again, I was weaker than I was last week. So my back and biceps were both weaker. than they were the week before. So I only did one set instead of 4 sets, and then I left. I stopped doing bicep curls. The only exercise where I actually progressed was the dumbbell shrugs, the normal dumbbell shrugs. I progressed on that. So I did the 5 sets that I planned to do, anyways. But on the true exercise where I actually got weaker in comparison to the week before, I didn't do more or than one set because it would have been useless and actually just created useless um, fatigue to my back and my biceps. That's what people call like a reactive deload. I've heard about this like in a scientific study. People talk about this because traditionally people usually do deloads a little bit differently. They maybe train for like 8 weeks and then they take like a full week off. They just take a full week off where they don't really train. But what I've been doing recently, or they train but very lightly, so they pretty much take a deload for every single part of their body at once. But what I've been doing recently that's been working really well, I've been kind of taking reactive deloads. So as long as I'm progressing, I don't really deload. But when I notice that on a certain day, a certain muscle group, I'm not able to progress, I just kind of take a deload day. I don't really train that muscle group for that session. I just do the one set that I try to do, and then if I notice I'm weaker, I don't train that muscle group again. I just let it recover. So I take a deload for that certain muscle group that isn't progressing anymore. But for the rest of my body parts that are still able to, when I'm still able to progress, I'll just train them normally. For example, today I had leg day, and I was able to progress on every single lift. I'm able to add either one rep or add a little bit of weight. So I did that workout normally. But if I'd seen, okay, my back and my bicep are actually getting weaker, so they need a deload. If I then said, okay, I'm just going to deload for my whole body, I would have missed out on some gains for my legs. Because today I was still able to progress and my legs are still recovering just fine. And I'm still able to progress on my lifts, my lower body. But my back and bicep needed some time to recover more because the main reason why my theory is that the reason why I wasn't able to progress on my back and bicep and that I got weaker is because 2 days before my workout, so the 2 days before my workout, I slept really badly. Like I didn't sleep well at all. So I wasn't really recovered and that's why I actually got weaker. And again, I adjusted on that. This night, the night before my leg workout today, I slept really, really well because I knew, okay, yeah, I need to fix this problem. It's all about getting feedback, and in this case, it's about progressive overload. If you're not able to progress, you kind of see that and say, okay, what's the constraint? What's the main reason why I got weaker or didn't get any stronger? What's the main constraint and what do I need to do? What do I need to change to be able to progress again? Sometimes it might be a deload. Sometimes it might just mean that you need to sleep better. Sometimes it might just mean that you're not eating enough and you need to eat more. Sometimes it might just mean that you're doing too much volume and you need to reduce the volume, or you're not doing enough volume and you need to do more volume. Or sometimes it might mean that you're just not training hard enough and you need to train harder and get closer to failure. There are many, it could mean many different things. But it's your job to actually recognize what's the main constraint, what's the main thing holding me back from making progress. What's the main thing, the main reason why I got weaker this week. And the last thing for me that really helped me is just experimenting when needed. Sometimes I tried some exercises and they were like okay. I didn't like hate them, but I didn't really find them that good. And instead of just doing them again, I just thought to myself, okay, why not experiment with other exercises? Let me just take an example for you. I used to do, for my triceps, I used to do the push down. Just a normal push down, cable push down for my triceps. But I really didn't like the exercise. Like the mind muscle connection for me wasn't really good. I didn't really feel my triceps. So I experimented with different exercises. At some point, I went through the cable kind of overhead extension. Then I tried the overhead dumbbell single arm extension. And then I tried the exercise I'm doing now for my triceps. I'm doing the overhead kind of dumbbell tricep like extension with 2 arms where you hold like a French press, basically. I've been loving that exercise and I just tried it out one day. And I found out that I really like the exercise and I really feel well in my triceps. And then I also tried, what's the exercise I do for triceps? I also tried, oh yeah, inverted skull crushers. That's an exercise that's not really famous. It's pretty, like not many people talk about it, but I just tried it one day and I found out I really, really like it. So it's really about experimenting. Beforehand, I kind of never really liked training triceps because I never really found an exercise that really felt really good for me, for my triceps. But because I experimented, I actually found an exercise that I actually liked and that worked really well for me. So it's all about getting feedback and then adjusting, making some changes so that you're able to make progress again. Getting feedback and then seeing what you can do differently to get better feedback. And if you're getting some good feedback, you just keep doing what you're doing. You just stick to the plan. Of course, I talk about experimenting a lot and change some things. But if right now you already make some good progress, then you don't need to change anything, probably. If you're progressing consistently and you're making really good progress, then you could probably just stick to what you're doing right now, not change anything, and just keep milking it out, keep doing it, keep training consistently, and just doing it over every day, every day, every day, every week, every week, every week. But if you're not making progress, if you're currently stagnating and you hit like a plateau, or maybe you're even losing strength, then that's your sign that you need to make a change. I know it's simple, but I think many people make this mistake of just kind of banging their head against the wall when they kind of hit a plateau, when they're not progressing, instead of kind of making an adjustment and making a change. It's easier to kind of just keep doing the same thing even though you're not progressing anymore, which isn't necessarily the best idea. So yeah, I hope you find this video valuable. Hope it helped you. And if you're into my free community, if community where I can help you build muscle and gain weight, just click the first link in the description. Don't wait for it to come for it. Chase it.